Hello Internet, this video is part of the Jeep Project playlist on Scott's Garage, where for the last year and a half I have been restoring a classic 1946 Willys CJ2A. Now this video is all about the L134 Go Devil engine that powers this Jeep. It's an engine that literally changed world history. Keep watching. Okay, in order to know the significance of the Go Devil L134, you need to know a little about the history of the Jeep. The year was 1940. The United States knew, the generals in the Army knew that it was inevitable that the United States would have to enter World War II. They're being dragged into the war. Now, those who were already fighting the war had military vehicles. They had upgraded from World War I, which basically was horses and men, to World War II. So the Russians and the Germans and the English and the Japanese, they all had vehicles in the field. The U.S. was way behind. So some U.S. generals, some Army generals, they invited, I believe, 129 U.S. companies to build a vehicle that could get the troops into the battle. Now there were some high specifications for this. They had to do it in 49 days and there were weight limits to the vehicle. They wanted it to be four-wheel drive. And of the 129 companies that were invited, only 3 responded. American Bantam, Willys Overland, and Ford. Now Bantam was the first. They were able to, in 49 days, come up with a prototype of the Jeep, and basically the design goes back to American Bantam. Now the other companies like Willys Overland, they needed more time than 49 days. They asked for 120 days and they were granted that. And the initial design by Bantam, it was an operating vehicle. It passed all the tests. It was an incredible prototype. And so the US Army took the liberty of sharing that design both with Willys Overland and with Ford. They felt they had the rights to the design and they shared the design with those 2 companies. Now, Willys Overland, they wanted to make sure that it was a powerful engine, and they put their top engineer, his name was Barney Roos, and he redesigned the engine. Willys Overland had a 134 cubic inch engine, and the specifications were that this engine had to run at full throttle on a dyno for at least 20 hours. And he was able to achieve that, but he wanted more. He was a perfectionist. And so he redesigned the engine, kept redesigning it, and he increased the horsepower from 40 to 60 horsepower. And incredibly, he designed this L134 engine, and it was able to run at full throttle for over 100 hours without breaking down. And that engine was introduced then with Willys Overland's, their concept of this vehicle. And as production happened, American Bantam was too small a company. They had financial troubles, and they really couldn't produce that many vehicles. So most of the Jeeps went to Willys Overland and then to Ford. But the engine, this engine is the engine that would be used in all 3 companies eventually. So Ford, they initially just used their regular Ford engine, and it was not that good. American Bantam, they used a Studebaker engine, the Continental, and they put it in their vehicle. Likewise, not very reliable. But Willys Overland, with their engine, the L134, the Go Devil, they had it in their Jeep, and then it was used by Ford, and it was used by American Bantam. Now the troops and those driving these Jeeps, their preference was the Willys Overland Jeep with the Go Devil 134. They absolutely loved it. It got the nickname Go Devil because it could go anywhere. I think the Go Devil initially was a sled pulled by horses for cutting down lumber back in the day before vehicles were even invented. But this engine was so reliable that, again, those in the field, those in the Army, they absolutely loved this engine. It was so reliable. And the Jeep with this engine could go places that tanks couldn't go. Now, after the war was over, several generals were asked, how was it the United States was able to basically secure the victory in World War II? And many, like Dwight D. Eisenhower, they said the Jeep. And when he said the Jeep, he meant powered by the Go Devil engine, because that became, again, the engine of choice. So this engine initially, in this Jeep, was designed to replace the horse. And it did. From World War I, this replaced the horse. Now, for me, it's been great to restore this 1946 Jeep. It's the first civilian year, but they kept the Go Devil for a long time, so this is the Go Devil engine. And I wanted to do it right. I wanted to restore it very carefully, and you can see that I've taken some time and attention in the restoration. I wanted to honor that engineer, Barney Roos, who originally designed this engine. So it's been great to be able to be part of this restoration. As you know, my dad was a part of this. He passed away, though, in January. I was so looking forward to this day when we could drive the Jeep for the first time. Now, I purposely left the fender off so you could see the Go Devil. And I'm going to take some other shots here so you can see it. I'm almost done with the Jeep project, and then I'll be moving on to other things. But I hope you enjoyed this video. If you got any value at all from this video, please give me a like. It costs you nothing, but it's a great value to me. And as always, have a great day.